Hey guys, welcome to Woken Pretty. Min's already excited.
I'm excited.
Because it's our life advice. Okay, we love doing this. And guess what? Min's excited because it's about going on a date and somebody not paying. Why you like these things, girl?
I don't know.
Listen,
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
It
bring it
just
for
fuels my
you.
soul in a way that I can't explain.
Well,
First of all, no, that one, I don't want this to happen to any of my girls, whether I know you or not.
okay.
And two, I don't know why. I don't know.
I
Find them
want you to
funny.
pop off if you need to. If you
I
need
will
to,
pop.
but it's a fun one. All right, guys. It's a Dear Abby, because we love our girl Abby, even though she kicked the bucket a while ago, but she is alive and kicking and has left us a legacy. So this is fairly recent, okay? This is basically today. I went to visit a man I was dating, and there was no visitor parking available. He told me to park in any space, even though there were signs stating non-residents would be towed. He said not to worry about it, and I'd only be there a few hours. Suffice to say, I got towed. He did drive me to the tow yard to retrieve my car, but he didn't offer to pay for my tow charge or even half of it. I thought it would have been nice of him to at least offer, and that his not offering demonstrated a lack of character. Yes, I know I chose to believe him at my own risk and that I'm responsible for my choices, but I trusted his information. In your opinion, did that demonstrate questionable character on his part? Girl. Okay, Min, you go.
Okay, hold on. Before everybody goes at me, my personal opinion, okay? One,
Mm-hmm.
if a guy had done that to me, should he have offered to pay for my tow? Yes, it would have been nice if he had offered. Would I have been upset? No, because technically it was my car. I should have known better, blah, blah, blah. However, if I'm looking to date this person long term and he didn't offer, I don't think I'd be seeing him again. Because I think this steps into a little bit of a, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Provider kind of mentality. And
He demonstrated a lack of generosity, is what you're saying?
Yeah. And I wouldn't be seeing, to give you an idea.
Please give us an idea, man.
Something happened recently and I had to put up a very large expense with my business lawyer because of something that happened externally. I won't go into the details of why I had to speak to my business lawyer, but obviously the lawyer bill came in and I paid for it. The person who was involved, I talked to him about the fact that I had to pay this lawyer bill, mostly because he was part of the reason why I had to pay said lawyer bill. And the first thing he did was like e-transfer me the money for the lawyer bill. No questions asked. Didn't, like, obviously he was part of why I had to pay the lawyer, but no questions asked, didn't say anything, was like, I'm sorry, this shouldn't be an expense that you incur. It wasn't your fault. Let me take care of it. Yeah. I'm looking for more of somebody who can be more of a, have more of a provider mentality. That's all I'm saying. I've done the, it's your fault financial situations with somebody else, and I'm not doing that again.
Okay. First of all, let's backtrack. Girl went for her booty call. Couldn't find a parking spot. You told her it was okay and she believed him. You're only going to be here a few hours. It'll be fine. You trusted him. Okay. Honey, you are not going to be serious about him. You are not. And if you were, run, because he wasn't going to be serious about you by making that comment. You'll only be here for a few hours. So he is not serious about you. It doesn't matter what you think of him. He should be in your, you should not be even, this should not even be a conversation like a week from now. He clearly demonstrated that he was not thinking about you. He was thinking about him. And when you reaped the repercussions, you thought it was nice that he drove you to the tow yard. That was the least he could do, first of all. And then he didn't offer to pay or even ask to pay half or anything. Fine. Did you say, what's up? You're not going to offer? Did you call him out? I'm assuming you didn't. And that's cool. If you're uncomfortable with that enough where you're writing, Dear Abby, he is not meant for you. He is not meant for you. This is not a conversation. This is just, oop, I got my itch scratched and I moved on. That's it. That's how I see it. There's no ifs and or buts. This is actually a good thing that happened and you got to see what he was really like.
Yeah.
And if it gelled with you or not, because there are going to be other things that's going to happen that he's not going to. Hello, can we rewind to the episode where it was a birthday dinner and there was the girl wasn't paying for his stuff? Come on.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
he walked out on her,
And then he walked out on her.
left her with the bill, and she only paid for her half.
Yes, that is the exact one I'm talking about. So yeah, girl.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a triggering episode. Let me tell you. Don't call him again. Get your booty elsewhere. Find a man who can provide. Those are my tips. Tips for men.
Tips for men. Okay. And scene. Moving on to the next one. That's a pretty cut and dry one. He already showed you who he was. I don't think it's nice that he drove you to the towing thing. He got what he wanted from you.
Exactly. There is a trend that's happening all over TikTok where you hear Steve Harvey's voice and he says, "A woman once told me, if a man shows you who he is, believe him the first time."
We say that about everybody. I told you this, especially if you listen to Brown Girl Trending. I talk about following your gut all the time. The more you follow it, the stronger that sense gets, the stronger it is. It's so strong in me sometimes that I hear my body say no to things that I'm like, ooh, but I want to argue it. Stop arguing with yourself, girl. He already showed you the evidence. You already know what's up. That's why you're writing Dear Abby. You just want somebody to tell you no. Usually people want people to tell them what they want to hear. When it comes to a life partner, if you're serious about finding a life partner,
positive 98% of the life advice and like the am I the a-holes are definitely, you already know. Like
you already know
justification in how you're feeling or what you're doing.
I have not found one that I've been torn about.
There was one. We had one that we were torn about. You and I.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Okay, one out of the 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. All right, here's a simple, sad one. Hurt.
Okay.
And from all my girlfriends out there, I'm sad if this happens to you with my child. I am a single childless aunt / great aunt. For decades, I took on the task of traveling to visit family while the kids were young. No problem. But I've recently learned that now adult kids have been in my area and never contacted me. I was extremely hurt and let them know it when the opportunity presented itself. I'm also insulted that they would make no effort. My initial reaction is to no longer make the effort. What do I do? Aching auntie. Sounds like it's going to hurt her more than it's going to hurt them if she stops contact. What do you think?
This is I have a hard time gauging with this because I could not go not contact with my nephew.
I was going to say, we talked about this recently with the grandparents that they didn't get the thank yous from the grandkids or whatever. It's how you raise your children. If my child always saw my aunt and I guess maybe she thinks she's closer to them than they are to her. But I would basically, did you ask them why? Like, why did they feel not to contact you? Did they not have time? Did they want to make the effort? Like, how much of an effort would you have wanted them to make? Like,
at what stage in their life are they, right? Because
they're old enough that they're traveling, right? The parents aren't there.
Okay. People are
again, your parents raised you wrong. Go have some tea with the lady. It's just common courtesy. Also, no offense, you couldn't hit up your aunt and be like, okay, let me backtrack. My sister, myself, and my cousin are the oldest out of all of our cousins. We were teenagers when they were all born. There's 26 or 7 of us. Okay. Yes. My cousins range from now maybe like 18 or 19 to 31 or 2 or something like that. If my cousins came to New York City and didn't tell me they were here, I wouldn't be hurt like this one. I have my own life. But I would surely call them and be like, WTF? You don't know nobody? What's up? Because I know I took your ass to New York City when you came in to visit all the time when you were a kid. I would march my teenage butt with these kids in hand, these 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds. They had the buddy system. I would take them to all those terrible restaurants in Manhattan. They would go to Toys R Us. You remember Toys R Us in Times Square because of me. You remember Mars 2112 in Times Square because of me. You remember going to a Broadway show because of me and my no money, but I found the money to take you. So, sir, ma'am, what? You best to at least say, hi, you're coming, you're rolling through. You don't have to come see me, but I still would feel a certain way. I would. So this woman always made the effort, but they probably just see her, I'm assuming, as, relative that visits on special occasions. They don't see her anything more than that. Because if they had personal relationships with her, if she's ever sat and talked with one of them or had a relationship individually outside of her being the aunt and they're all the kids, I could see why they didn't even think to visit her. I could. But she also puts all her eggs in her basket because she doesn't have her own kids. Oh, Axel, you will know better, sir. You will know better. You will. Because even when I go to Florida, if I used to go for work and I didn't see my family because I had work, I would tell them I'm coming. I would. Or I would say, oh, come to the hotel at this time when I'm done if you really want to.
Devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
One of the hardest things for me to do is be in Asia and not make a stop in Thailand, because I know that like my aunts, my uncles, my cousins are going to be like, you were so close to home and you didn't want to fly home. And
Okay.
it's like a booby trap.
Okay, now that we're talking about it, I did go back to Trinidad one time with my friend and then my husband. He wasn't my husband yet, but he came. And I only saw, okay, yes, I didn't see my dad's side of the family at all. And they were very a certain way, but I knew that I didn't have time. I was only there for 3 to 4 days. And I also knew that if I went there, I would be sitting there and it would be like a show and everybody would have to come. And I didn't want to subject my friend or my boyfriend at the time, husband. However, one of them got really mad and she stopped talking to me as much as she used to. So I know she was real mad. But these are cousins that I left when they were like 5 or 6. And we would communicate every once in a while. We wrote letters. I still talk to one of them, but I know you were upset, but I didn't need you to show me around or do anything. Like it would have been nice to see you, but I just really honestly couldn't. I get it. I get it. Ugh. Anyways. All right. You want one more? How about we do one more?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, this is Dear Abby. My husband passed away 4 years ago. I started dating my current beau 2 years ago. We are great friends. We are supportive of each other and enjoy our new life together. I have drifted apart from my late husband's side of the family. We're still friendly, but don't have as frequent contact as we used to because we all live great distances apart. I care for my former sister-in-law, but my brother-in-law was rude to my beau when they visited me and it rubbed me the wrong way. Now that I'm moving forward with my new life, I no longer want them staying with me on visits and vice versa. I plan to continue phone contact with my sister-in-law and other family members from time to time. Am I handling this properly? Wow. Okay, story time. My aunt, my uncle passed away about a year and a half ago. He was young. He was 53, very young, from a heart issue. He's been with his wife, who is my aunt by marriage, since she was about 2021. So they were together for a very long time. He was a little bit older, not that much older. So 30 something years they've been married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I realized her fear after he died when she would call a couple times and she wouldn't say it, that we're not her family anymore. And all she knew is our family. All she knew is our family. She's ingrained in our family. She lives by our family. Her sons are part of it. She basically felt like there's no place for her anymore because, and I never even thought of that because my growing up in New York was with her.
Mm-hmm.
She had kids in New York. Those suckers lived with us for time to time. I wiped their butts when told you I was a teenager.
Yeah.
My cousins. And so it was really sad for me to hear her think that, but I realized, why wouldn't she think that? Who's reestablishing her place here? And I told her, I said, I won't say her name, but I said, so and you'll always be my aunt no matter what. You were there for me when I was younger and you're there for me now. And we're obviously talking. My son is basically your grandson. To me, it's not just blood, right? And then I said to her, I was like, for the rest of the family, if they treat you a certain way, which some of them did, your sons are this family. Never, ever question your place. You do you.
Yeah.
Anyways, I could see why she felt that way. And I actually talked to my sister about this recently. And I said, we met somebody and I was like, oh, maybe she would get along with him. And maybe they can cross paths and see if it works out. And I don't know how everybody in the family would feel about it. But here's the thing. Who cares? Who cares how they feel about it? She doesn't have to hang out with y'all. She can have a whole new life. She has her kids. They're part of our family. She is still part of the family. And she doesn't have to be as close to us as she used to be. Not all of the time was it willingly.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So for this person, I would say, look, your new life is your new life. If you don't want them staying with you, it shouldn't be an assumed thing. If they want to stay, they have to respect your new beau.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with you moving on, you can change the relationship that you have with said people. I wouldn't cut out that one person and not the other. I would maintain my relationship with them, but just distance it a little bit if you feel like that's better for your mental capacity, because it's not worth it.
No, exactly.
I move on with your life. Why should they have a say in it?
It's true.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
I'm with Meera.
Why can't your former brother-in-law accept it? Get over yourself, sir. That's not for him to accept or not accept. It's just not. It's not his place.
It's true. Very true.
Anyways, that's all I got today, guys.
It was a good episode. Good job, Meera.
Yeah, I try. Listen, people write into Dear Abby. I pretend I'm Dear Abby and I answer it. Maybe you feel like I'm more with it, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You're totally.
I like these stories though. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Please follow us on Woke Pretty Podcast and obviously make your comments and feel free to message us. By the way, Min, somebody wrote to us on YouTube. There was a clip that we showed when, remember, there was an episode a while ago that we talked about how people look like their significant others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that. I said that if
Yep.
you put it on our socials the other day, that if you look
Yes,
like
somebody wrote twinsies.
oh my gosh, hilarious. No.
Yeah, but I like when I think owners look like dogs sometimes, like they're dogs. I feel like dogs look
That
like their
happens
owners.
so much.
It's
Sometimes.
so funny. And I said that one time, my mom was like, yeah, your dog looks like you. And I was like, what? She goes, he has the bottom teeth are messed up and he's always protruding it. And I was like, mother. That's my mom for you guys. That's my mom for you.
That's mean. That's a little harsh.
It's a mom.
If I ever
What
start
can I
looking
say?
like my chihuahua, I'm going to cry a little bit. I won't lie.
Are you looking like your chihuahua?
I mean, my chihuahua should be so lucky to look like me.
And scene. And that's perfect. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to us. We'll talk to you soon. Make sure you pass this episode on to your friends and rate us if you haven't already. We love hearing from you. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Remember, you're the heartbeat of our podcast. Your support, your comments, and your enthusiasm keeps us fired up and ready to bring you more pop culture goodness each week. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of action. We'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, and even your own pop culture discoveries.
Connect with us on social media at Woken Pretty Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.